And, I mean, session 5 is just timelines part 2.
Yep.
So it's obviously a continuation. I think in this though, time management is really important. You need to make sure that you are keeping the pace up. So we did let some of our kids take our timelines home between the 2 sessions. But if that's not an option for you, you know, you're worried about materials being not coming back to class, just keep the pace up and remember that, you know, as long as they have that one fork roadblock way around it, they can get to the share in your group or whole group part. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I think that it was also really important to have a quick thinking when a student wasn't comfortable writing. They could draw pictures.
Yes.
They could make lists. I had some magazines in my room. They could cut pictures if they wanted to, and that was something that was important to maybe have those extra materials there.
And this is also another lesson where buy-in, they need to feel part of the process in this. So I think there's a lot of, maybe they self-critique their timelines. You see that, like, because they're working and there's kids all around them, and they think, like, I don't have as much, or I have too much. Getting them to at least share a part of it is good buy-in on this one.
The other thing that I would say, looking back, I have a lot of students who take a lot of time and want to be perfectionists, and they're making a piece of artwork.
Right.
And I think it's really important to have them do their timeline on the cardboard in pencil first, and then go ahead and rewrite. Because with some students, if there's a mistake on it, they're done, wash their hands, and they won't go back.
Yeah, this was one too that we did have some fast finishers, you know, on the flip side, but I did point them in the direction of kids that needed, like, timeline review. So, like, maybe, okay, your fast finisher looks good, okay, looks good. Can you help them with a roadblock or a fork or something that they're missing from their timeline? So
I thought in the video it was very helpful to see multiple versions of what could have been a final product, as well multiple ways to share out.
Yes. And I think looking in the manual as well, now that you have these nice examples referring back, and if you see a student who's going in a direction other than, you know, plain lines, you can see some of these and kind of validate them. Okay, this is, you're going in the right way here.
Once we were done with this, we also utilized some of their timelines as on the bulletin boards around the room, and then it was a reinforcement as we went into other lessons. They kind of looked around and they did get that. So I thought that, you know, that's something we don't necessarily say in the manual or in the video, but at the same time, don't be afraid to post this work up. Have a Pathways bulletin board or something like that.
One thing I wish I would have done for the students who struggled to figure out this idea of the forks and the roadblocks, to possibly generate a class list of things that might come up in a pathway between middle school and end of life. What are some things to give the kids ideas of things to help them out
if they're getting stuck?
If they're getting stuck, are you planning on going to school? What might be a roadblock at school? Are you planning on having a family? What might be a roadblock or a fork or a choice you could make for those students who have a really hard time generating ideas on their own?